Hello, in this segment, we're going to talk about rubrics, and there's two areas that we're going to discuss. The first question is, are your rubrics or descriptive criteria included for all or most of your assignments? And how do you use rubrics? And we're going to hope they're all good.
So for me, this is it depends on the course and it depends on the assignment. And I actually love using rubrics for a variety of reasons, but I use them very differently depending on the course and depending on the assignment. Every one of my assignments has a rubric attached to it. And sometimes those rubrics are very clear, traditional, like you have the different 5 points and you can kind of check the different boxes and are aligned with our course objectives in that way. Some of them are a little bit more open, where I've outlined the criteria on which I'll grade the assignment, but then the actual rubric I've left open for free-form comments, because the kind of feedback that's important on that assignment is more open-ended feedback that can be more personalized for me. So my rubrics may look very different, but I do include them with every assignment. And I actually, as part of my instructions, I'll even make a note. Please look over the rubric before submitting and check yourself to make sure that you've met all of the criteria.
Awesome. Emery, what about you?
Yeah, I would completely agree with what Angie said on this, and I also will say to students, please look over the rubric to make sure that you're doing the right thing. I use rubrics in all of my assignments. Some of them are open-ended, most of them are not. And we actually at the College of New Rochelle, we went and did this on a department school level, which was a huge process for us. In the end, it was really beneficial because it brought all faculty on board, and I think it was really helpful down the road and sort of getting all of our courses aligned and getting everyone to do the same kind of rubrics for similar kind of assignments so that they weren't all over the place. But I make sure that I do it and that students are aware of that, and I tell them or talk to them about the importance of it, because if not, they students tend to be focused, very single-minded. They look at the assignment and go, I have to do the assignment. And I say, stop, don't just look at the assignment. Let's look at the rubric also, because that's going to determine how you approach that assignment and the kind of work you do and how you answer.
I think I live and die by rubrics. I hate to say that, but I think one of the things that's been really helpful are I've used two different types. One is very, there's five different categories going from exemplar to very poor, and looking at how the points kind of shape out from there. And that's been helpful for large projects. We also use kind of what I call almost a check sheet. It tells you the category, it tells you the description, but the points, you don't see like the five levels of the rubric. There's the main level, and then there's kind of this is where you fit into it, and there's a description area. And I really like in Canvas, you can have multiple types of rubrics. You can have one with all of the information, and you just go through and you check the different areas. May it be, a kind of a five little area drop, or it could be kind of that checkpoint where you can add in comments. And recently in Canvas, I'm thinking this is new. I'm not going to say it is, but there's a place where you can add in comments and store those comments, which I started playing around with that this semester. And I really liked the fact that I had the first part that told students the criteria of what we wanted, but then it gave us a place to kind of talk specifically about what they did. And I think for students, they liked that in terms of they got to see where did they measure up with that rubric and that guideline. I do tell students in every one of our assignments, in every announcement that I make, please read the rubric, because the rubric ultimately tells you what are we expecting from everything. So for every assignment, I have really a rubric, not necessarily descriptive criteria, but more or less a rubric that's in Canvas that's aligned with that assignment so students can see it line by line and what they're supposed to do. It's helped in numerous ways, just not only for the student, but it also helps when a student wants to challenge their grade. So I always go back to the rubric. I'm like, okay, where did we go awry? So I show them the rubric first. It's like, go through the rubric and rescore yourself. Tell me where you think you should have more points. And that's usually where students tell me, oh, I forgot to do this or I forgot to do
Yeah.
that. So it's almost like a self assessment in a sense. But I think students look over the rubric because they're like, I know what to do. I'm just going to go do it. So hopefully you've learned something new about assessments and rubrics in this section, and we will see you in the next video.